of these brothers that we're going to see opposing each other at this World Cup. I think maybe jumping out off the page is certainly one of them, very, very talented, Désiré Doué, and his brother Guéla, who plays for Ivory Coast, Désiré Doué playing for France. Who's the better of the two brothers here? I think it's a bit of a loaded question, and a lot of people would jump immediately to Désiré, but his brother is certainly a brilliant player as well, Ian.
He's a brilliant player, but he's not as good as Désiré Doué as far as I'm concerned, especially statistically. And then when it comes to honours already, what Désiré has managed to achieve at such a young age is truly frightening. And not many people are actually talking about him being the hero for France going into this World Cup. His statistics back us up and say, hey, listen, he's scoring every other game, so there's an opportunity for him to be the match winner in every single game that he goes to play. And France are going to have to go through some real tough nations. If they were to make it to the final in my bracket, they go through the Netherlands, Germany, Brazil, Spain and England to win it, which they will. At the same time, his brother performing for Ivory Coast has been really special, I think, also for Désiré, because there's an immense amount of pride between the two of them. I'm sure there's a competitive nature, like me and Michael, my brother. But these are two brothers who are two incredibly talented players, and I hate to be the one to say it, but Désiré to me is an absolute class player, might even be world class.
Yeah, when you get two Champions League back-to-back seasons and you've been a mainstay at PSG, there's a big reason why Bradley Barcola is doing, was he doing this? It's a big reason why Barcola is on the bench, is what I mean, for PSG. But I want to give some love to Guéla Doué, because I remember watching him at the African Cup of Nations with Côte d'Ivoire, and he's an example of what I think we're going to start seeing in a lot of African teams moving forward from this World Cup and the next AFCON in 2030 in Morocco, Spain, Portugal, is when you make a decision to honor the background of your family, your parents, it has a ripple effect through time.
What does it mean? Can you explain to it in detail what it actually means? Because I'm quite... It's hard for me to understand it, right? Because you're in the same household and you've got two different nations here. One, obviously, of pride when you see what his brother's gone and done. I mean, what does that really mean?
So it's a great question. In every African household, there's this sense of African pride, but also African pressure, where every single parent or grandparent, they want you to honor and remember what came before you. The suffering, the sacrifices that parents or grandparents had to make to get the family to France, to get the family to Portugal, to Spain, whatever the country is. And so when they're brothers and both of them play football, I've seen it with teammates of mine, former teammates, I've seen it with friends that played in Europe and in Africa. It always happens through households where one brother, usually the elder brother, goes to honor the background of the parent, and then the younger brother says, yeah, I'm English, or I'm French, or yeah, I'm gonna go play the big time. So the leadership factor for him, the last AFCON, one of the things that I noticed was he brings a sense of calm, leadership, and also high footballing IQ to the Côte d'Ivoire. And so his success is going to be Côte d'Ivoire's success at the World Cup.
Do you know the pressure in my household? My mom is Scottish, my father's English, and I was born in the United States of America. So the pressure came from my mother, 100% to play for Scotland, to which I decided to go play for the US national team, which was
always listen to your mother. You should have been playing for Scotland. Let's talk about the Williamses, Iñaki and Nico, Ghana and Spain, they're representing respectively. Who needs a good performance at this World Cup more, Michael?
Yeah, it has to be Iñaki Williams. Just the injuries that kind of derailed what was supposed to be a just world-class season. We've seen him have world-class moments for the Spanish national team, obviously assisting in the Euros. I think he assisted on the game-winning goal of the Spain's triumph over, I think it was England, in the final. But for me, Iñaki Williams has been an icon for Athletic Club.
Yes.
There is no Nico Williams without his brother going forward, and you don't see too many back players playing in the Basque Country. And so there always has to be someone who goes before, carries the torch, and he has really opened doors for his brother. But Nico Williams, you talk about the price tag that was set for him, the move close to Barcelona. Ian, you were talking about it. This could be make or break for him at the World Cup.
Yeah, make or break. Real quickly, I just want to touch on an important fact that you made there. In Basque Country in particular, their story as brothers is unique, and if you get the opportunity, go have a look at it. There's multiple documentaries about it, how obviously it happened and how the decision was made to which nation you're going to represent. Listen, Nico Williams has got an immense amount of pressure because he's coming off the back of a disappointing season, where the season before he was one of the best players in world football, and we were all talking about him potentially going to Barcelona. That move looked to be the one that he wanted to make, where this pressure came from Basque Country fans. The Athletic Bilbao fans made so much pressure, they kicked up such a fuss, that I felt like he sort of felt the pressure that he had to stay, and he forced himself to stay. And we haven't seen the same player. Injury, obviously inconsistency, maybe too many games that he's been playing the year before with European competition for the first time as well. But I do think that he's also proven on the international stage for Spain how good he can be. This is, of course, someone who's looking up to his brother, who's his hero. Already stated. His brother is an absolute hero. Probably should have played more games, I think, for Ghana as well, right? No doubt.
Yeah,
Injury held him back a little bit for the national team. Should have played more games for Bilbao, but didn't quite happen for him for one reason or another. But this guy, on his day, Adam, he's a superstar. He's an absolute superstar. So whatever you need to do to get this guy playing football, I think he can be the brother that shines brightest this World Cup.
And we must thank SofaScore for these lovely graphics that we're getting to use here on Scoreline 48 Nations. Normally it's just Ian yelling numbers at me and I don't have anything to back myself
Not
up.
surprised at the 6.56 on your side, Adam.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought we'd play Choose Your Favourite World Cup Brothers. And we've said you can have brothers that played on the same team or opposing teams. Michael, who do you go for?
I actually want
this
to
is in history.
Do you mind if I flip it around? Because I know Ian always has a curveball up his sleeve. Or should I go first?
You can flip it around on me and we'll challenge our team.
Do whatever you want.
Because
I don't feel the pressure.
You were teeing it up.
Listen, I
you
thrive
teed
on
it
the
up. You were
pressure,
like, you come to me. I'm going to throw a curveball.
You don't listen to a word I say anyway. So do whatever you want.
I thrive on the pressure of Michael who throwing the curveball towards me. I'm just like Judge. I hit it out of the park. And so do my brothers, right? I am going for Michael and Brian Laudrup.
Great shout.
The reason why I'm going for it, both played for the same nation.
Danes, yeah.
Both scored goals at the World Cup, 2 goals apiece at World Cups as well. Obviously, Michael played at 2, Brian played at 1. Both were incredible, immense, talented individuals. Michael obviously spent a bit of time at Real Madrid, a small club called Real Madrid. Brian spent time when I was growing up at Glasgow Rangers, and I got to see him, meet him, and watch him train. He was special. I actually didn't know much about Michael because I knew Brian first. And then I actually learned about Michael and I thought, wow, he's a better brother. He might be the better player here. But these two created history for Denmark. And obviously having brothers like that compete at a World Cup, scoring goals at a World Cup is unique and it's special. And they were two that really stood out to me on a personal front when I was growing up.
Great shout.
I have memories of 1998 against Nigeria where one of the Laudrup brothers scores and just does this.
Yes. that was Brian.
Man, I almost just blew out my back in this one.
It's okay.
So
we've waited for it. This better be good.
So this is going to be really good because there's a song after these two brothers. Yeah.
Yep.
You know how it goes. So Yaya Toure and Kolo Toure. And
You're talking about Toure.
Yeah, I actually got to play against Yaya Toure, and I can guarantee you, his bum's this big, his short's this big, his footballing IQ is up here. What a world-class player he was. And when you go through the Premier League annals or the annals of world football and maybe even African football, I think he's one of the most underappreciated footballers that we don't talk about enough. You think of the 20-goal seasons he had with Manchester City, it's one thing, but I played against him the campaign where they won the African Cup of Nations. And that Côte d'Ivoire side, Didier Drogba had just retired. And so the question of where the goal is going to come from, who's going to be our leader, and Yaya Toure stepped up, and I had to go as Kolo Toure because he's his crazy other brother.
Yeah.
Invincible winner, and just one of the big characters of English football. So those are the two that stick out to me.
Well, we've had bums, cojones. Where we go next?